So it's now time for all of the cooling aspects of the Rodeo. So basically we're upgrading intercooler, we've got some oil coolers for the gearbox and a fuel and power steering cooler. So I'll just run you through what we got and what we're gonna do. So these little canister thinned barrels are basically one's for my fuel and one's for the power steering cooler. So they'll sit pretty much like down here, one above each other, and then the intercooler will sit above that. For the intercooler, we have a 600 by 300 by just a 75 or 76 mil thick with 3-inch outlets. So that's a big ProFlow cooler. And also from ProFlow, we got these little transmission coolers. So they're gonna run together for the gearbox and keep that cool. So all of this has to now fit behind this grill. I've started the intercooler pipe already. So out the turbo, we got the 2-inch, which is there. We got a reducer, then we go to 2.5 inch. And then I'm gonna continue 2.5 inch through to the intercooler. And then on this side, we're gonna do 3-inch cold side. So come 3-inch through there, and this is already 3-inch here. So that's already a 3-inch 90 and join to that, and we'll run it like that. So what my plan is, hopefully, is I run the 2 transmission coolers side by side here, and then the intercooler in front of those. And then yeah, the power steering and fuel coolers underneath. So with those, so I purposely bought 2 different ones, as you can see. So one's got the fittings on both sides, and then this one is it like passes through. So that'll be the power steering cooler. So if that mounts there, it'll come out of the steering box in one end, out one end, and then to the reservoir, which sits on the passenger side. And for the fuel one, that there is actually the hard line from the fuel tank. So that'll go in one side, out the other, and then back. So it goes the same way, because the fuel, like the little lift pump for the fuel filter and the fuel pumps all on this side. So yeah, in and out, back on the other side. And yeah, that's the plan. So we just gotta start mounting this cooler. Hopefully it fits, and yeah. So just another little tool that I bought and I'm testing out. So this is pretty much turns your 20-ton hydraulic press into a sheet metal bender. So I'll put that in there. We're gonna bend this at 90 degrees and pretty much see how it goes. It's rated for, I think, 3 mil sheet for the size of this, but we're gonna bend some 5 mil flat bar and see what it does. And yeah, very easy. So we'll go to 90. Let's see what that is. Bloody spot on. So yeah, not bad. Does like a couple $100 off Heron Forbes site, and very handy. So that's how I've mounted my coolers for the power steering and fuel. I just welded a bracket off the intercooler bracket and bolted them to that, and that's just tacked and that's solid. I will put a gusset on the end because like corrugations and vibrations will probably snap them off, and I don't want that. So yeah, that's how it's going to look basically. I'm going to hide the transmission coolers. They're going to fit behind the intercooler, between the intercooler and the condenser, so you just don't see them at all. what my plan is for the trans coolers is I've got these brackets which I'm going to cut down so it's only like 10 mil. Ideally they sit like that and like that. They'll just be 40 mil shorter. And these will mount on like there. So yeah, it's pretty much like that, but 40 mil shorter. And then I'll weld a bit in the middle to stop that happening. And that's basically it. So when I put that on the car, that's just one unit, and I bolt it on with the intercooler bracket that's on the bottom as well. That holds the power steering and fuel coolers. So it's all just gonna be one big thing. So yeah. So what I'm making here is just the top intercooler brackets, so it's just to stop it flexing like that. Put them behind there, and I'll just bolt them in. Right, so I've got those mounts done, and that is solid as. So next is our new intercooler piping. So yeah, continue from here, try reuse this hole and get to the intercooler. So I'll put like a sharp bend on that, and then same with here, try reuse the holes that I've already got, just so I'm not hacking out bigger holes in my intake. And yeah, hook up the intercooler pipes, and that's our front mount done. If you can see behind here, that's our trans coolers. So you got one there, one here, they're linked together. So I'll just run the gearbox cooler lines from the gearbox to one, and then from the other one back to the gearbox. That should keep them cool, and then our other coolers will sit back where they're mounted there. So yes, all our cooling sorted, and then next will be, I've got to trim the grill to put that back on. So I am pretty much at the point where I'm going to start it. So yeah, I think I'm at that far along that I'm pretty confident I can hook things up to be finalised. I've sort of just done a dodgy at the moment just to start it. I just want to pretty much just hear it, even though it'll probably sound like it did before. But it's just like an achievement thing when you start your car after working on it. So I'm just freaking rigging up a fuel system. I've bolted my standard injector pump back on and put the injectors back in. I'll just do the 12mm later. Yeah, I just got stuffed over with Australia Post sending it off, and I ended up with it back. so I'll just deal with it later. I just want to drive the car, so I'd put it back in and we can drive around for a bit at least. And then one day when I get bored, we can rip it off and do the 12mm. So yeah, got fuel to it, power's hooked up, it winds over. Pretty much just got to fill the injector pump with fuel, bleed the injectors, and then go for a start. So we'll do that now. So yeah, just update, I've done the exhaust, or the dump pipe, so it's just a full 3-inch dump. Comes to here, so I'll just finish that off when the body's on. I just want to get that done so it was easy with the body off. The external gate I'm currently hooking up to plumb into the dump, so that's just to keep it all quiet and keep it legal basically. And yeah, as you've seen, the car now runs, or yeah, it always ran when we started it. It was pretty quiet, so, which is sort of good. But yeah, pretty much just all the finishing touches now. Once I got this screamer pipe, once I got this external gate plumbed back into the exhaust, pretty much the body's gone back on and bolted down for good. And then it's all just the other finishing off things really. So yeah, we'll get this done and yeah, drop the body back on. So yeah, I guess just an update. We have the car, it's currently out of the shed. I just wanted to pretty much get everything hooked up and see if it actually drove, and it did. My handbrake setup worked because I don't have brakes at the moment, so I'm literally using that as my brakes while I drive around. The ratchet shifter's hooked up, so I can select reverse and drive forwards, park, all that sort of things. The yeah, engine bay is all hooked up, so intercooler pipes are done, run through the intercooler into the plenum, into the motor. At the moment I'm just supporting the car with just some freaking bits of steel and a little dodgy fuel tank setup, pretty much just to start it, get it in and out of the shed. Yeah, that's pretty much how it's looking. So the front diff's actually finished, so that's got rebuilt swivel hubs, the trail gear axle seals, and a 4.6 diff center. I'm still waiting on my 4.6 for the rear, so that'll be changed out. And I've done a, if you can see, a dodgy tail shaft, if you can see that. So that's just basically the lengths of everything that I need for when I actually get a real tail shaft built. And I'm still waiting on my steering shaft, so I've done another dodgy steering shaft just so I can move it in and out of from here basically into the shed there. So as for now, that is pretty much it till more parts arrive. I'm currently still waiting on a Transgo kit to do my valve body, so that'll be shift kitted. Still got to mount the ratchet shifter properly in the cab and do me brake lines, brakes, fuel tank, and I think that's about it. And then, as I told before, I'm only running the 11mm pump for now, so the standard pump's bolted back on, standard injectors. Just, it was a time thing really. I'll send it off later, pretty much we'll drive the car, sort out all the teething issues, and then when everything's good, we can send the pump off and then just bolt the 12mm on and tune it. It's done. Oh, and I've got to weigh the car, so as the car's supported on bits of steel like it is, I can actually slowly drive it around, get it weighed, and buy my coils to suit, so it suits the weight of the car. And yeah, that's really it. So it's slowly getting there. Just lots of little jobs, finishing off things, and hopefully soon it'll be fully on the road and on the tracks. So here's my dodgy ratchet shifter set up at the moment. It's just literally bike script in here. So we're in park, we'll go to gear and drive it. So pull it all the way down, should be first, handbrake, and we're off. And it's handbrake to stop.